Tonight, Christina Carswell hosts an all-new episode of The Lounge. The following program may contain mature material some viewers may not find suitable. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's The Lounge with Christina Carswell. Tonight, Christina welcomes Alex, also known as Axel, from the channel Swathed, Sarah from the channel Lyra Kylerin, and Sean, a professional QA video game tester. And now, here's your host, Christina Carswell.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Lounge after a short hiatus. Well, hiatus to us, but we missed you. We missed you so much. And we have so much shit to talk about.
No, we didn't.
No Man's Sky.
Woo! We're talking about
No Man's Spy, I suppose.
Yeah, we're starting right in the dick of things. That's where we're doing it.
The
Right,
thick of
right.
the dick.
Right in the thick of the dick.
Right in the thick of the dick. That's where we're starting.
All right.
So it was supposed to be the mother of all Hail Marys when it comes to open world exploration, right?
Space.
Yes, space. How about space?
You could go to planets like this red planet and this blue planet and this green planet, which look like the red planet, but we just made it green because procedural generation.
Yay!
And there are 18 billion planets.
That like
Oh
my brain just can't deal with that because I'm a perfectionist and I need to explore
It
everything.
doesn't matter. Literally, you play the game for 5 hours, you've seen everything and pretty much done everything.
It's
Yeah.
kind
Some
of
people are super angry.
But my
I'm like,
brain.
I spent $60 on this shit. I'm like, try living in Canada. That shit costs more. Try living in Australia. Those people paid like the equivalent of I think like $70 or $80
Damn.
because Australia is kind of weird with their video games.
Fuck.
Oh, did they give it any funny ratings for it? Like, I don't know, violence against aliens. Oh, it's illegal. You know,
I've been watching Markiplier play it and
Germany.
it seemed cute.
That's more Germany than Australia that tends to ban the overly violent stuff.
Okay, I'm just thinking back to Left 4 Dead whenever they took a bit of a fit there too.
They also have a fit on anything that's Nazi, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough, right? Like. But anyways, like No Man's Sky was weird because like I played it and that's it. I played it. Like I didn't enjoy it. Like I'm a huge fan of very like open-ended space exploration games. Like I loved Freelancer. Freelancer was one of my favorite games of the early 2000s. I loved to some extent, I liked Eve, even though that was more like a Excel spreadsheet simulator than anything.
That's true. With some combat.
Like, I hear a lot of people also comparing it to Elite Dangerous, which is a really apt comparison, but, like, Elite Dangerous had way more in scope.
What do you mean by that?
Like, there's more stuff to do. Like, the thing the thing with No Man's Sky is that, like, once you get off your first planet and like start exploring the system, it's literally like I landed on this same planet that kind of looks like the planet I just got off of, except everything's blue instead of red, and those weird alien things that are on the other planet, now they have horns because procedural generation doesn't really make anything completely that random.
Actually, between the two of them, I feel like No Man's Sky kind of has the upper hand simply because he can get out of the ship.
See, okay, but that's the thing. Compared to Elite Dangerous?
Yeah.
Well, Elite
Dangerous. What do you do in Elite Dangerous? You fly around. You can, if you get the expansion, now actually go down on the planet, but you don't leave your ship. You just kind of go into a rover.
Yeah, but okay.
So you Mass Effected is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, basically. But where No Man's Sky, or like where Elite Dangerous has a lot more over is like there's a lot more just stuff to do because No Man's Sky, you launch into a planet. Like I'm not bagging on No Man's Sky completely. I was super hyped for the game like last year when it got re-announced at E3, and I was like, oh yeah, that game's coming out. Holy shit, they're finally making that game. Because being a huge freelancer fan, and I'm also amped for Star Citizen when it comes out. When God knows, like 2020, that game's gonna come out, but it's gonna be so massive that people are gonna have to build a computer just to play that one game. Yeah. What I was trying to say was, No Man's Sky is literally like the formula is get in ship, fly hyperspeed to a different planet, run out of fuel, land on a planet, mine some stuff with your mining gun, get back in your ship, fly to another planet, repeat. There's nothing to do. Like, yes, you can go around and classify everything and name everything and basically turn it into planetary Wikipedia, because anyone can come in and name their things anything. I mean, like, you watch any Twitch streams of anyone playing it, and anyone with an immature heart's like, lol, this is dick face Harambe monster, and it's just like, okay, you had the choice to name it anything you wanted,
but this is what you went with,
and that's what you went with. So it's like, I get it. If it's your style of game, it's an okay game. But the bigger issue that a lot of people are getting angry about was this was an indie game disguised as a AAA title. It was basically a tech demo. It was like, there's nothing much to do. You have a mining laser and you can build guns to shoot down the little robots that get angry at you if you mine a planet too much or kill all the little animals on the planet.
So let's take a step back here. Who's actually getting upset? What do you mean by getting upset? Like, is it the same kind of angst that you see with Elite Dangerous?
90% of the player base has dropped out within 2 weeks.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's excessive.
That's kind of expected. To be honest.
Let me find that statistic again.
Because numbers.
Yeah, no, because someone also compared it to 1 second here. Let me just pull up that, because someone compared it to. 1 sec. Someone compared it to the Division, like the Microsoft game. They compared it to how the player base dropped off of that. They also compared it to several other games that were like really, really hyped and didn't fully deliver on the hype. And a buddy of mine actually made a really apt comparison the other night when we were talking about No Man's Sky, and he's just like, Sean Murray is basically this generation's Peter Molyneux.
Who?
Not exactly know that reference.
Peter Molyneux was the director and the game director for Lionhead Studios, the guys who made Fable. Remember Fable?
Oh!
Remember all the hype?
Oh my god, yes. Okay, now I can see it.
So I was like, I had to sit down and think about it. I was like, actually, that's kind of an apt like comparison. Let me just find that.
Also, what about like the multiplayer? Because I remember
there is no multiplayer.
Then they lied about that outright, because he did a whole bunch of interviews.
Okay, no. Okay, the whole controversy between that multiplayer is they didn't fully. The way that Sean Murray was a very enthusiastic game director.
Okay.
And I can't fault him for that, because he's trying to sell his indie game project before they got picked up by Sony, and then Sony had all the marketing money. Sean Murray basically was like, hey, we created this really cool concept for a game, and we want to add all this stuff to it. But we think that our game is going to be so big in scale that having multiplayer doesn't really make sense, because they're like, theoretically, no one will ever run into each other, yet two streamers, like the day the game launched, or like a day or two after the game launched, found each other on the same, like, they weren't literally beside each other because there's no multiplayer, but they found the exact same planet with the exact same buildings and structures on it, and they're like, we're standing in the exact same spot. And it's like, they said that the probability of that was astronomical, like, because there's 18 billion planets.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly they're astronauts then. So they did something astronomical.
But so anyways, so back to Sean Murray, and he so in interviews he was so excited to talk about his stuff and it's one of my more bigger problems with the video game industry to begin with, and the whole model of hype. But he basically said, we wanted to add multiplayer, we thought of multiplayer, there could be a multiplayer capacity, but they felt that the multiplayer wouldn't really contribute to anything. Now we know, because there's not that much in the game.
That's fair.
So,
but there are clips of him like on like Colbert saying that yes, you can play with your friends, like hinting at multiplayer, and people like ran with that and got super angry with it.
Oh, okay. Here's the So on this is according to Steam. This is just for the PC. Like, there isn't any hardcore numbers for the PS4.
Okay.
But hourly concurrent players have dropped by over 92%. Like, when the game launched, there was like 137,000 people on when it launched on Steam a few days later.
Okay.
Now they're down to just under about like 15,000.
That's a significant drop, but like, hey, if they already paid for it, like, what do they care?
Well, that's the thing, but like, it
just sucks if they ever go to make another game, because this is going to be a strike against them.
See, and that's another thing that a lot of like video games journalists are talking about, and like kind of like people like me who like look at the industry and analyze the industry as it goes along, and nobody's going to trust Hello Games anymore. They're going to be like Peter Molyneux and Fable at least delivered on a solid game. Like, Fable was okay. It didn't promise like the myriad of things that Molyneux was promising, but Fable 1 was a solid game. So everyone's like, okay. It was also, I think, the first Fable, I think, was like almost, or like a near launch title for the Xbox, like the original Xbox.
It was one of the
I don't think it was a launch title. I think it was just like, it came out in the first cycle, so like the first year.
It was one of the big announcements that people were really looking forward to. Like, it had a hype train. It had a really big hype train.
Well, it was a solid game nonetheless. It was just super overhyped for what you could do, but the game that actually came out was still a very good game.
It was like playable and enjoyable.
It got like what, like roughly like an 80%, like an 8 out of 10, like on average.
I can look it up for you at the current state.
Yeah, according to Metacritic, it's 85. So,
that's
all right, that's fine. 8.5 out of 10. But anyways, I apologize for that.
It's not like the flop that they had with the Wii.
I don't know. The Wii is a whole different bag.
No. Fable with the Wii, the Fable game, like that one was a huge flop considered in like the Fable series.
Oh, I didn't even know that Fable. I thought it was a Microsoft only release.
No, it was follow along. You were basically on a train track. Was it for the Wii, or was it for? It was for something else. Like, you needed VR.
Fable
maybe
Heroes?
the Xbox with the camera?
People got really upset because you were on train tracks the entire time.
Oh, you mean it was a railed story?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, no, I was correct. It was only for Microsoft stuff, so Xbox and PC.
Okay,
I
might be right.
I think the game that you're thinking of was Fable Heroes, which was like this weird, like, ragdoll-looking thing that was set for the Xbox.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay, then it definitely wasn't a Fable game.
It's definitely a Fable game. Let me just
I am looking at
the Journey. Yeah, so it was Xbox, but you needed Kinect. And you're on rails the entire time, and people got upset that you were on rails the entire time. They wanted to like be able to get up and go around, and
it was a Kinect game that they tried to tie the Fable franchise into.
Yeah,
and the Kinect sucked, so that
did not go well.
Yes, it was like fucking all the other games. The only good game really for the Kinect was what, Dance Central, and that was like because
for to begin with.
Yeah, exactly right. Anyways, so.
Basically, any DVR
no one's going to trust No Man's Sky anymore, or like Hello Games anymore, because No Man's Sky was like anytime Sean Murray's going to come out and speak about it, like whatever game Hello Games decides to do, right? They're
They burn their audience.
They've burned the bridge, kind of. And unfortunately, it's Sony's fault. It's not necessarily Hello Games, because there have been many other independent developers who have built a great concept, and they release their first game, and they go, okay, this is what we're capable of doing. Sorry we didn't deliver on things. We only have 10 people working on this. And people go, okay, well, now that you said that, and you charged maybe $25-$30 instead of $60+
that would be more acceptable.
People would be more acceptable. But because they got picked up by Sony, and Sony was like, we're going to throw a shit ton of marketing money and push the hype down everyone's throats. We need this because it was originally a PS4 exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Is this kind of like whenever, was it Amazon or whatever? Who bought out Twitch?
Oh, that's a good fucking question.
Yeah, I think it was Amazon. No.
Are you sure?
Amazon bought out Twitch?
I'm not sure, but whoever it was a while back, I remember seeing a joke. I think it was like a Penny Arcade comic. They're like, yeah, we're actually trying to buy a toaster.
It is Amazon. It is Amazon.
Yeah, it is Amazon. It is Amazon.
Yeah. Wow, when did that
I'm
happen?
just looking at this.
It was a while
maybe
ago.
This is one of those moments where some
2014
Sony executive made a mistake and thought, hey, we could make a crap load of money on this. This looks like, one of our games. Only to realize after the purchase that's actually a freaking tech demo. Now, while I have you in shock and awe,
yeah,
big
totally.
thing that kind of stuck out with touching on things like Elite Dangerous and other similar games, right?
Other titles, okay.
Yeah, other titles. Or just of that particular freestyle nature. The big problem that a lot of the common audience seems to have with a game like that is the lack of direction, or the fact that the game doesn't really give a shit about you, right? You go in, you're going to go in with a goal. You've got some thing you want to do. You're like, oh, I'm going to role play this character. I'm going to do this, right? You're using the game as a medium for your own entertainment. And somehow I feel like No Man's Sky kind of falls into that area where, yes, there is a goal. From what I've heard, apparently there's something in the center of its universe.
It's Minecraft without the building.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the point
Wander
is,
around it somewhere else. What?
The point is that you're going into that game with some kind of personal made goal, right?
Yeah.
Well, the original goal is to get the actual point of the game is to get to the center of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much
the
fucking
center
impossible.
of the universe. Sorry. Which actually some guy did it within 4 hours.
Okay, never mind.
That's
Just
what
ignore my
people-
statement.
Well, no, because that's the whole point of this game, right? Was supposed to be, look at how massive and huge and all the things you're going to be able to do. And we don't expect anybody to ever reach the center of the universe. And some fucking Twitch streamer was like, I did it in 5 hours.
I did it to prove you wrong.
That's
No.
It's kind of funny, actually. I never expected
the direct path.
Yeah, I never expected this game to actually have anything in it, which was the weirdest
Big
thing.
as an ocean, deep as a puddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw the demos and the teasers that they were putting out about a year ago, the thing that kind of struck me as odd is okay, they're putting a lot of time into this procedural generation, but if the goal is to get to the center of the universe, and you're also sort of hinting at the idea that there'd be some resistance along the way,
that would be cool.
How
space battles.
How
and shit.
interesting is that resistance going to look like? As they're showing off the stuff there, I kind of got the sense there's this AI, but it's going to be a cheese, right? You're going to be able to just whatever, fly past, minor thing to notice. So I'm not surprised that they kind of fell on their face with that. It sounded like they were wasting a lot of time, a lot of unnecessary things.
Well, don't forget, it was also a 10-man dev team.
That's fair. There is something that I do kind of want to touch on a little bit. I don't know if you guys are in the gaming community on YouTube at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sean.
Yeah.
Did you watch Kiori's video?
I haven't got around to that. I've watched.
But have you seen the shit that blew up from it? He's not the only one. Kiori's just an example because he's the newest one. I even watched Sky's video talking about this.
Yeah, there's Sky's video. There's also like Angry Joe did a video on it. I mean, Dude Soup did a podcast on it. Everyone's been talking about it ever since it came out.
So I'm gonna explain this to Alex if he's not in the loop. Are you in the loop? Not in the loop? Okay. So basically, there's a concept going around with certain YouTubers where they don't give a shit about their audience. They don't care for the views. They just do it to have fun, which is fine.
They're hobbyists.
It's a hobbyist kind of deal.
YouTube hobbyists. Yeah,
but
there's no harm in that.
But there's a strict difference between the creators who just don't give a shit. They just make content to make content, and some people are calling them out as hypocrites because they do get paid for the videos, so they didn't get paid for the views and the subs and what have you. So some creators are basically calling them out, like, you do care because you get paid, kind of deal. So like that's a strike contrast that's happening right now in the YouTube community.
To me though, that point is kind of moot. I can still get paid at a job I hate doing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You go to a job that you hate just to get money. Just because they get paid doesn't mean they have to care. If YouTube is their only viable, like Kiori streams, like a lot of the bigger kind of more comedy style YouTubers that do like the kind of punch edit kind of videos, like the Donkeys and the like Sky and like a lot of Sky's videos. Like Sky puts a lot of attention, but Sky's mainly focused on YouTube, and he really cares about his fans, and he's one of those that really does.
I'm a subscriber. I'm not gonna lie.
And that's all fine. Like that there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you want to run YouTube like a business or like a job, there's like, that's the reason why Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, that's why.
But all those guys also stream, like.
They do, but they only, like, Markiplier only really streams
for the fun of it, I guess.
No, for charity. He does like the big charity streams. But Mark has said like his YouTube channel has gotten so big that like it's back to being a hobby because it's self-sustaining. So it allows him to do other things. There are certain YouTube, like there's certain people who are even popular on YouTube that are actually more streamers. They're streamers than anything because they get more money from streaming.
And they just upload their clips to YouTube as like a highlight reel.
Especially with the explosion of Overwatch, Seagull, I think he plays for NRG. He plays for a professional Overwatch team, so he streams his like competitive matches, and he has a really big following on Twitch, and like people will just literally pop into his stream, donate him $100, and then just leave. Right, and $100 is like, wow, that's $100, but in the long scheme of things, that pays for like groceries. Like that's to me, that's like a grocery bill. If someone came into my stream and was like, "Here, have $250," I'm gonna be freaking out because I'm like, "Well, thanks for paying for all my bills for the month, bro." Like now I don't have anything to worry about for the month. Thanks for making my month stressful.
Oh my God, your bills are so low.
I'm talking about like internet phone.
I'm teasing.
No, but internet phone groceries. Like I go through like budget, man. Budget, bro.
Budget.
But anyway, so like
gonna get into like Excel sheets about Sean's life.
I to some extent I micromanage most of my life, yeah. But back to like kind of dialing all the way back, like No Man's Sky. It's they time will tell what's gonna happen to Hello Games. They might have shot themselves in the foot with this one. That's all I'm saying is that I'm not demonizing them because there's a lot of people who are like justifiably angry, but they're overly angry.
Yeah, it's like they invested a certain amount of money.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Hello Games is going to be just fine. I mean,
well, they have Sony as a backer, so like Sony could just be like, "Oh, we'll eat the losses or whatever."
I don't think they have much.
I don't even this. Like. I want to look up the sales figures for that game.
Yeah, I get the feeling they're going to be just fine.
They definitely have to like step it
Game,
up a
right?
fucking notch for the next game though, because of the fumble, I guess, with the public that they had on this one, because they made so many people angry. I think they have to like step a little bit more carefully for their next release.
They sold roughly about 772,000 copies, roughly.
Sorry, Alex, I did cut you off. I am terribly
that's fine.
sorry.
The only thing I'm just sitting here wondering is, now I've seen some videos that are poking at some of the problems involved in the game. One of them being just like some of the seizure effects you get with the shadows.
Oh, there are definitely like so many graphical and physical glitches in the game too, which people
Yeah, but
are
they
like,
can patch that out, yeah?
they can patch it out, but in the first 2 weeks of the game releasing, they've already released 4 patches.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, because people were getting stuck in planets trying to land on them. People were like crashing into the space stations and then spinning uncontrollably because space physics.
Oh yeah, I seen that. I saw
Conservation
that.
of momentum. Conservation of momentum is a thing. You know, like going hyperspeed and then all of a sudden snapping out 5 feet in front of a space station's not gonna, end well. But like there's a lot of things that I've just heard people complain about, and glitches are a lot of it too.
Yeah, I don't know. I suspect that if they stick to some less ambitious games for their next projects, if they were to do that, I think they'd be just fine.
I feel like if they took the engine for No Man's Sky
and applied it to something else.
Yeah.
They're definitely not going to throw it out the window. Like, it's in their wheelhouse now. Like, they could just reuse it.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But I mean, like,
Sony acquisitions it to cover for the costs.
Ooh, that would be bad. That'd be bad for them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up. This has been interesting. First day back after moving. Yay! So that's all the time that we got for today. So be sure to follow us on social media at TOONDISE on Facebook and with the hashtag ToonLounge on Twitter. And if you're a fan of TOONDISE, make sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/ToonDice. And on behalf of Axel, Sean, and myself, Christina, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the lounge.